The Taliban took over another provincial capital in Afghanistan yesterday, pressing on with their relentless offensive as American and coalition forces finalize their pullout from the war-torn country. The city of Abak has fallen to the Mujahideen. This was confirmed by Samangan's provincial deputy governor, who said the Taliban is in full control of the city. This is the sixth provincial capital to fall in 4 days. The militants have ramped up their push across much of Afghanistan in recent weeks. 158 Canadian soldiers died during the Afghanistan mission. Thousands more were wounded physically and mentally, which led to additional deaths by suicide. Well, joining us now to discuss the ongoing and developing situation in Afghanistan is Mr. Bill Roggio, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and the editor of FDD's Long War Journal. Sir, welcome to Forum Daily.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So can you give us a quick overview of the situation in Afghanistan as coalition forces pull out of the country?
Yeah, the situation is quite dire. And today, the Taliban took over 2 more provincial capitals, Forest City and Pul-e-Kermi in Baghlan province. So the Taliban now controls 8 provincial capitals. There's 34 total. 4 provinces are fully under Taliban control. That means they control the capital and all of the districts. As far as there's 407 districts in Afghanistan, the Taliban controls 230 of those as of this time. The situation is extremely fluid and difficult to track. The Taliban are on the offensive. They're taking control of large areas of the north. This is where the major Afghan power brokers are based. And without that base of power, the Afghan government is in dire straits right now. The situation, if things continue down this path, the government could collapse within 3 to 6 months, if not sooner.
And how strategically significant are these territorial gains made by the Taliban, sir?
Very significant. In the case of what's happening in Western Afghanistan, so with the Taliban, all of these capitals, it's not in the south and the east as many might have predicted. The Taliban focused their efforts in the north and the west while pressing their offensive on southern provincial capitals in Helmand and in Kandahar. They're fighting there, tying up Afghan forces. But meanwhile, they're taking control of the west and the north. And again, this puts the power brokers in a very difficult position. And now the cities of Mazar-e Sharif and Herat, they're under direct Taliban threat. The Taliban is pressing offensives there. The Taliban is tightening the noose around these cities, and they're working their way towards Kabul. It's again, the situation is quite dire. I have not seen the Afghan government, the Afghan military, do anything to be able to stop this advance. They're clinging to control of some cities at this moment.
And what kind of tactics are the Taliban using during these advances?
The Taliban, they're primarily infantry tactics. The Afghan military touts their air force and their commandos, but these are of limited supply. They're very small units. They are elite units. They've been effective, but only on the margins. The Taliban are massing their forces and conducting infantry assaults on these districts and these provincial capitals. The airstrikes might hurt them, but they're not stopping them. And in many cases, the Afghan military and government officials, they're just leaving. That's how the first capital, Zaranj in Nimruz province, fell. They just left. The government officials and the military just left because they were told that they wouldn't get the required air support and other support that was needed. And they knew that the person who was in charge, the governor of Nimruz province, was aware that his time was limited. He could either pick up and leave intact, and his fighters fled to Iran and Pakistan, or they could be overrun by the Taliban.
All right, sir, just about 1:20 seconds left here, but are you and other experts surprised at the speed of the Taliban's gains?
Many experts, as a matter of fact, nearly all I've seen are surprised. I haven't. I've been documenting this since 2014, what the Taliban controls and contests in Afghanistan. I've been warning about the Taliban's rural strategy to take over rural districts and then press closer to the center. That's exactly what is happening. So I am not surprised. The Taliban waited for the U.S. to leave, for that announcement that the U.S. was leaving. It flipped the switch, pressed the button, and it's going on the offensive.
And what's your estimates around the future of Afghanistan? Will the Taliban be able to take over the entire country?
Yeah, it's very difficult to assess. But if things do not change, the Taliban will be in control of the country. I would say, again, within 6 months. I can't see how the Afghan government can hold out if it's clinging on to Kabul, if it's surrounded by the Taliban in all of the major provinces.
All right, Mr. Roggio, thank you again for your expertise on Forum Daily, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.